Woke up this morning, feeling the vibe, got my headphones on, ready to thrive. Voices in my ear, lifting me high, upward bound podcast, reaching for the sky. Lessons learned from the deep and wise, personal growth like a sweet surprise. Tune in, turn it up, feel the spark, igniting the fire, lighting the dark.
Welcome to the Upward Bound podcast, where real conversations lead to real growth.
We're here to help you level up in your life, your leadership, and your future.
With practical insights, honest conversations, and tools you can start applying today.
I love it. My name is Ernie, the Kumos, apparently the queen of podcasts.
I'm Jeff Williamson.
And I'm McIntosh. And this is, come on, everybody together,
the Upward Bound
podcast. Wow, that was fun.
That was a fail, but that's us and our personality.
You learn through failures, though. That's okay.
We do.
Probably won't do that again.
So, failing forward, return on failure, all of that stuff.
That's right.
Definitely. And to our audience, if you've been feeling stuck, ready for more, or know you're capable of your next level,
then you're in the right place. So, hey guys, how about we get right to it? What do you think?
Let's go. Listen, we got somebody very special that we've been anticipating. Michael J. Pope Jr. That's like a famous name.
Oh, yes. I was starstruck, actually, when I met this guy.
Come on now. And I'm not even going to tell you how much it costs to get him on here. Michael Pope Jr. is an international speaker, leadership trainer, author of Do-Ers, Win the Day, and creator of the Do-Er framework. Michael helps high achievers overcome hesitation, develop powerful habits, and take bold, consistent action. We need that today. And so we're excited to bring him on. And Ernie, tell us more about what we're talking through today.
Yes, today, so as you have mentioned, Len, our guest is Mr. Michael J. Pope Jr., and we will be talking about his book.
Let's go.
Do-Ers, Win the Day. And what I love about his book is, and I think we can bring him on now, what I love about his book is it's not just a motivational or inspiring book to read. It's actually more so of telling people that the difference between success and just the dream is taking action, and that is what the book is all about. So, Michael, welcome to the Upward Bound podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Ernie, Jeff, and Len. Very excited to be here on the Upward Bound podcast.
Awesome. So, as we mentioned, we are going to talk about your book. We cannot talk about the whole book because it's a lot of chapters, but we will focus on the 3 chapters that we think are very beneficial for our audience, and that's the hesitation trap, celebrate small wins, and winning the day. So with the hesitation trap, Michael, I'm very curious because the title itself is very intriguing, as most people don't think hesitation as dangerous. So my question is, why do you believe hesitation quietly keeps so many capable people from becoming who they're meant to be?
Love that question, Ernie. Hesitation sneaks up on you. What I realized is that hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. You see, failure teaches you something. John Maxwell wrote a whole book about it. Actually, he's written multiple books about it, right? Failure teaches you something. However, hesitation trains you to stall.
Look out.
You get good at waiting. You get good at at looking for perfect opportunities before acting. So hesitation is very, very dangerous. I know it's cost me a whole lot over the years.
You don't get too many success stories with procrastination and hesitation, do you?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Good, man. Good, man.
So with that being said, Jeff actually did a very good segue. Is there like a moment in your life where you found yourself trapped by hesitation personally, Michael? And what was that pivotal moment that made you realize, you know what, enough is enough?
Absolutely. Hesitation has cost me so much. It's cost me time, it's cost me money, and it's cost me moments that I can never get back. So one that quickly comes to mind is my Grandpa Joe story. So growing up, my Grandpa Joe was my hero. He was a mentor and a father figure for me. And I remember sitting at his funeral, and I was given the opportunity to come up and share my thoughts about my Grandpa Joe. And I sat there. In my heart, I knew what to say. But I allowed hesitation to really start whispering in my ear, saying, "Oh, you're not prepared yet. Just think about it a little bit more." Or someone else has already said what you're going to say. Just be seated. Just stay seated. And I listened. And Ernie, that regret stayed with me for many, many years of knowing that I should have gone up and spoken about my hero in front of friends, family, and loved ones, people who wouldn't have judged me. But yet I allowed hesitation to keep me silent.
Love that story. You know what? I've heard of that story because you and I have been friends for a while, and it's always like, okay, yes, that's right. That's what hesitation does, and your story is a perfect example of it. In this scenario, everything actually begins with a giant leap, and it usually starts with that one decision to just, you know what, get up and show up. Thank you so much for answering that question. And I believe, do we have another question?
Yeah. So listen, Michael, there's a chapter about celebrate the small wins that feels kind of countercultural because most of us celebrate milestones, but we overlook progress. And so why do you believe recognizing small victories is so important? Because, you know, I'm a former football player, Michael. And coach used to, you know, want us to celebrate touchdowns. You know, not as much did we celebrate first downs or, you know, the little progress, but it was always about the touchdown. And so speak to that about celebrating the small wins.
Yeah, so it's a big mistake of not recognizing your progress along the way, Lynn. And you mentioned football, right? It's like you think about a football game, every yard matters. You know, you get to the point where you're 1 minute, 1 mile, one yard away from getting that next first down or getting that touchdown. And if you don't get it, it makes a big difference. And a lot of times we don't realize that in our lives. Every single step of progress is so important, and we need to celebrate that. I learned that from my mentor, Joseph McClendon III. Absolutely amazing man. But he taught me the importance of celebrating everything that I do as a win. He's like, you know, hey, you brushed your teeth today, right? Celebrate that. You made a phone call that you thought about hesitating on. Celebrate that. And you just want to get in that habit of celebrating. And the beauty of doing that every single day is that when you get to the end of the year, you've racked up so many moments of celebration versus people who look back and like, oh, I didn't accomplish this, I didn't accomplish that. You're like, no, man, I won every single day for the last 300 and something days. And you're just feeling amazing about yourself because you stop to recognize it.
That's so good. Yeah.
So important to do that.
That's so good, Michael. I mean, so many of us are high achievers, right? In high performance environments. And so often, you know, looking for the next opportunity or always looking for the next goal. And we don't stay in the moment long enough to just kind of embrace the moment that, listen, this was a great time. And can I come to the confession table right now, Michael?
Yes.
Safe place.
Can we take Ernie and Jeff out the room? Can I just have a counseling appointment and say that, man, listen, I often don't like, you know, my mind never stops working. So I don't like to stay in the moment. I'm one of those guys that's always like pushing.
What's the next thing, brother?
Yeah, what's the next thing? So help me walk through that, Michael, man. Counsel me today, Michael.
Yeah, so one of the things, Lynn, a great question, right? So one of the things we got to recognize is that our brain doesn't know the difference between a big win or a small win. It just knows win.
Yes.
And the thing is, even with those little small wins that you're taking, before you move to that next step, as excited as you might be about moving to that next step, just pause. Even if it's just 5 seconds, and be like, yes, Lynn, you did it. Yes, great job. Whew. And then move on to the next step because it's going to give you that momentum. I mean, it's just like when you played football, and someone scored a pass or someone made an interception, even if they didn't score a touchdown, you still celebrated that because you were in that moment. That's right. And that celebration gave you momentum to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're building up confidence and really trusting ourselves that, hey, I said I was going to do this. I did it. Let me recognize that and keep moving forward.
Yeah. Michael, come on. Let's go take a trip down memory lane. Okay. So let's talk about a win in your journey that was that catalyst moment that at the time it might have seemed like it was insignificant, but it was that launching pad in your that moment that just propelled you. And just share with the audience about that, Michael.
Yeah, I have several of those. One that immediately comes to mind, Lynn, is when I gave my first professional speech. For years, I grew up being terrified of public speaking. And I remember I signed up for Toastmasters back when it was the summer of 2003. And they asked me to give a short 4-minute talk about me.
Let's go.
And that day, I sat in my seat anticipating being called up. And I dealt with hesitation, all the what ifs in my head going on.
Yes.
But when I heard my name get called up, I had a decision. I could stay there seated, make up an excuse, or what I did was I stood up and I nervously walked to the front of that room and I gave my presentation. It wasn't perfect. I forgot my lines. There's lots of things I would do differently. However, even though I felt a little embarrassed, when I got back to my seat on the inside, I was like, yes, Michael, you did it. You did it.
Yeah.
You faced your fear. You did it. That was a big win for me because I realized that if I survived those 4 minutes, I can survive 4 hours if need be.
That's so good.
That's really good. And I know that, like, we're all Maxwell coaches, and we, are in the room, and we hear lots of great content and such. And, just where I know specifically for myself, and I imagine we all could get roped into this, but Maxwell talks about the power of 24, and it's the idea where Jeff would potentially do something and fail, and it's the idea that Maxwell says, hey, well, just stay in that space, but only kick the can for 24 hours. Just move on and learn, regroup, and kind of tweak what you're doing to just try to scale differently or better or whatever. But on the other side of that coin is that 24-hour success. And I know for me, and I imagine all for us, everybody in this room, that, success is almost like expected, because then we move on to that next, thing and say, well, because I remember a story when I dropped my second book off to a local bookstore, the people behind the counter said, well, you're not as excited as you were when you dropped off your first book. And like when I dropped my first one off, you would have thought that I won Ed McMahon's publisher.
Yes.
I'm just kind of like, just raise my, but the second one, I was more stoic, and they're like, you just, so it's because I was already thinking about book 3 at that point in time. And it was just really, it's like, this is crazy that you've had 2 published books or whatever it might would be. But Jeff, can stay in this idea that this is expected, and but at the same time, success begets success. So it's celebrate when you're in those moments. And I appreciate you saying that, because it's like, if we don't take time to smell the roses, and we don't take time to recognize that this is a good thing, that we're using our abilities and strengths and talents to bless other people, that then it's just kind of, what are we doing? Right.
That's good. And we know experience is not the best teacher, right? John has talked about that it's evaluated experience. And so as you talked about, Michael's taking the time to sit and smell the roses and asking, what did you learn, right? That John says, and how did you grow? And if we're not taking those pauses, I mean, we're going to miss out on something important. And so, Michael, it's amazing how these seemingly ordinary moments often become the foundation of extraordinary outcomes. So, man, I'm so excited. Thank you for sending me the bill for this counseling.
That's right. That's right.
You helped me grow a little bit.
So, as we move into winning the day, and that's when we're having our planning sessions, that's kind of where it resonated with me. Not that the other chapters didn't, but just kind of I like the application side of things and what we would be able to do to take that small one thing moving forward. So with all that being said, your title suggests that success isn't won once, yet it's won daily. And so for you, or for our viewers, listeners, what does winning daily actually look like? So what is maybe the recipe for that, or just maybe that secret sauce? Just what eternal secret?
Watch out!
Look out!
I love that, Jeff, and I truly believe that doers win the day. And so when I think about winning the day, what it means to me is that when I lay my head on the pillow at night, I can sleep with peace, knowing that I did the things that I said I was going to do. Right? That I faced the fears that I wanted to face.
Yeah.
Right? So, that I was trustworthy with myself. Like I built that trust with myself because I did those things that I said I was going to do. And that's kind of what winning the day means for me.
Yeah.
And what I realize is that when you get into that habit of winning the day, then you start winning every single day. Then you're going to win your weeks, and then you're going to win your months and your years. And it's an absolutely amazing feeling.
Yeah.
And I know my family and I, we've had lots of different amazing wins in our lives recently. I mean, last year was an absolutely amazing year, but it was because we focused on winning every single day. All these little things, we count them as wins. And it's an absolutely amazing feeling. And I encourage people to, track your micro wins somewhere, whether you're writing them in a journal, whether you're recording a video talking about it, but start in the habit of just tracking those micro wins because those are success principles that you can share with other people that you're learning.
Yeah. I like that. And kind of where your answer, I feel like, was headed to. It's also culturally driven. It's not just self-centric Jeff thinking, hey, how can I win? I statements. Yeah. How can we win? One of our viewers, shout out to my brother, right? He was saying, I'm like, well, hey, this thing happened. And he's like, I'm like, well, hey, how about you divert your attention and do some push-ups, and I said, just try to hit 100 a day. And, not to brag.
100. Oh dear.
I can do that easily. But it's like, but he can't. But it's like, so can you focus in on what we can't do or focus on what we can do? So it's just, culturally, I go to the gym and I appreciate that environment, but I'm like, hey, how about you then modify and tweak and change, like, James Clear style, small changes make a trigger and then you see a different response. To where now my brother's knocking out 100 probably plus push-ups in a day. And, it's just kind of one of those things where, it's good to see that, yes, we can win the day, but I don't think it's meant to be, how can just Jeff win that day? But how can the people in our circle of influence and circle of awareness, how can we collaboratively, do something that we're going to, bless, not just, a small pocket of people, because my brother lives in a different state. But how can, he then, with some things he's learning and growing and celebrating in that 24-hour window. But, when he hit 80, he didn't stop at 80. He kept pushing forward. So culturally driving that forward. So, you can have that positive ripple effect as we're moving ahead. So I appreciate you saying that here.
Yeah, it's all about creating impact, right? Like John Maxwell says, we're people of value who add value to others and value people. And that's all a part of it, right? Because when you're winning and you create that environment of winning, other people want to win around you, right? They want to take action, in that intentional action, because you're doing it, as an example.
So I'm going to stick with the same, experience at the gym. It's like there's some days that I can bench 2 plates and I feel great. And I'm like, yeah, look at me. And I go home flexing to my wife. I'm like, look at these guns.
Come on, Jeff.
Come on, tell somebody.
We don't see it.
Whoa, you don't see
We don't see you flexing to your wife.
I'm like, that is shame,
we
y'all.
see you.
Good gracious.
On a weekly basis. No, we don't see you flexing.
I got you. But those days that I go to the gym and I can't, my body is just not able to do 2 plates, and I might could still, lift a little bit and that sort of thing. And I bring up this example, not so that Ernie can make fun of me on live internet, but I bring it up because, we're going to have some bad days. We're going to try to win the day, but it's not going to, 2 plates doesn't automatically mean that I'm going to get a 3. But we're going to have some bad days, right? And maybe even a bad season. So let me ask you this. It can be so easy to feel like we failed altogether, but how can we, Jeff, our audience, how can they reset without becoming discouraged, Michael? Like, it would be so easy to say, well, I didn't do 2 plates today. I'm going to quit the gym and just sit and eat ice cream. How do you really coach people when they're in those bad days, bad seasons, to not become discouraged?
Yeah. So one of the things is to recognize your progress and to anchor that progress to your purpose, really to your value.
That's good.
So when you're tying your actions back to your values. So you think about in your case, Jeff, right? You set a goal or you made a decision to go to the gym. You did it, right? That's a win that you actually showed up at the gym. You put forth the effort. It might not have been your best effort compared to what you did 2 weeks ago or 10 years ago, right? But you still put together effort. So that's your value. You made a commitment to yourself and you followed through with that. Like, that is so important to celebrate and recognize that. Because a lot of us will look and say, oh, I did 100 push-ups 2 weeks ago, and today I can only do 80, right? That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Especially as we continue to age, right? We're all going to experience those type of things. However, if you made a commitment that you're going to do the push-ups or do the bench presses, and you did it, you followed through with your word, you're continuing to build trust in yourself, that you're trusting the words that come out of your mouth. You're knowing, okay, if I said it, I have the integrity and the character to back it up, then, right, that's a win.
So let me put you on the spot here, Michael.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think we already placed them on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, let me put you on the spot.
Let's go.
And I appreciate, just kind of your response here. So if you would indulge us, maybe share about one of your bad days or bad seasons and what you did specifically, because personal stories resonate with our listeners. So tell me about when Michael had just, a crappy day or a crappy week or whatever, season even, and then what you did to respond so you did not become discouraged.
Yeah. And I'm human like everyone else, and I have lots of failures like that. So for me, one of my big goals over the last couple of years has been getting on speaking, getting paid speaking engagements. So I've had some moments, Jeff, where a lead comes in, they say their budget, and intimidation shows up, where I'm like, man, am I even good enough to even apply for the speaking engagement? Mm-hmm. And I've had some that I've passed on because of I didn't think I was ready for it. Mm-hmm. And then I had to deal with that guilt.
Yeah.
So that's how it was a couple of years back. Now what I realize is that because I've been working on myself on a regular basis, learning how to celebrate the wins. That's right. And in celebrating the progress that I do, the things that I have complete control over. So we have control over two things: our attitude and our actions, meaning what we do with our time.
That's good.
And I had an example. I had something that happened. This was back maybe 2 years ago. Actually, 2 years ago. I had the opportunity to speak on the same stage as Les Brown. Actually, Les Brown spoke first. I was going to be speaking immediately following Les Brown.
Ooh. Wow.
Right? So I asked him in the back room and all that. Years before, that would have completely intimidated me. I would have been dealing with so much imposter syndrome that I would have been so caught in my head of like, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? I wouldn't have been able to even enjoy his talk. However, because I learned how to recognize really how to celebrate the wins, and I knew that I earned the right to be there, I was able to completely enjoy his talk, shake hands with him afterwards, and then go up and speak, not feeling nervous because it wasn't about me. It was about the audience and the impact. but that was because I learned how to work on myself daily. But it doesn't happen from when you get that one big thing and you celebrate it there. No, you've got to celebrate the little things. Even like today, right? I'm going to celebrate that I showed up confidently for this podcast and I shared. It's not going to be perfect for sure. There's things that I've said that I probably would say that differently if I did it again.
Yeah.
That's always going to happen. However, I don't focus on that. I think, you have to learn how to create some type of winning ritual for yourself, whether that's a pat on the back, a fist bump, a high five to yourself in the mirror, whatever you have to do for yourself. But do something to put yourself in a mindset where you're constantly celebrating those wins and feel like, hey, man, I won that. And you're feeling good about yourself. It's so important.
That's good.
Can I have a follow-up question on this? This is really gold. Is it what I'm hearing, Mike, that you're saying? I'm taking the stage from Jeff. What I'm hearing, Mike,
It's okay.
is it's a matter of perspective. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Right? You can look at two different things and you say, right, it's the whole glass half full analogy, right? Like you look at it, one person says it's half full, other person says it's half empty. It's just your perspective on it. I choose to look at things and like, man, this was a win. This was very successful. Maybe it wasn't my idea. It wasn't the best it could have been. However, it was extremely successful. And now I can continue to improve.
That's good.
Awesome. So I have one last question.
Okay.
I know we have 4 minutes left. I have one last question. When on your book, Michael, and thank you so much for being here. This has been an amazing, I know it's very short, but this is very valuable. When people finish reading Doers Win the Day, what do you hope changes, not just in what they think, but how they live?
Yes, great question. So as far as how they think, I want them to be approaching everything they do with the mindset of I'm being a doer, meaning I'm disciplining myself. I'm focusing on one thing at a time. I'm eliminating excuses, and I'm in complete control of. I'm taking complete responsibility for my attitude and my actions. Right? That's what being a doer is all about. So that's the first thing. Then the second part of your question is, I want them taking intentional action and feel like, hey, man, I felt like a doer today. Right? Today is due day. I'm doing something, and it's just a different mindset that you have. Like, yeah, I'm a doer. I'm a doer.
That's good.
That's good, man. Well, listen, Michael, as we wrap up the show, man, I just want to say thank you. You've left a deposit with us. You've left a deposit with our audience that has been so powerful. And we're so grateful for you sharing with us today. I encourage everyone on the other side to get the book. That's all I can say. Get the book. Your life is going to be changed by it. We know that there aren't perfect plans. It's one step, one day at a time, one victory at a time. And thank you, Michael. I can just hear your passion as you. I'm sitting here just watching you, and it's coming through the screen. I mean, you're contagious. You're infectious, man. And man, I'm telling you, this has really impacted me today. So thank you once again.
I agree. And the joke backstage was, Michael, if you're kind of running into some crazy points here, just blink twice and just so there was no two blinks. It's a joke. Yeah, thanks for having. We want to thanks. I'm tired, right?
Words are tough,
but hey, words are tough, and this is live. So that's fun. But we just thank you for being here. Looking forward to seeing you next month here, also at the conference. But yeah, man, we just really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And one thing I'd like to leave with your audience real quick is to understand that life doesn't reward hesitation; it rewards action. Be a doer.
Come on, Mike. Hey, Michael, real quick, how can they get a hold of you, man? You got a website? You got any contact information?
Yes, you can go to doerswintheday.com to learn more about the book. You can also find me on bookmichaelpope.com as well as michaelpopetraining.com.
Let's go.
There you go.
Come on, Ernie. Take us out, Ernie.
Take us out, Ernie.
And yes, to our audience, if this episode helped you, don't just listen. use it, and or share it with someone who you know will benefit from it.
Take one idea and act on it. Share this with somebody who needs it. Like and subscribe to keep it leveling up.
And if you'd like to know more, we'd love to connect with you. We serve as speakers, coaches, facilitators, and the newest author in the building. And I'd love to come alongside you.
Trifecta.
We'd love to bring quality people on like Michael Pope to come alongside you and help you with your journey. And so until the next time, Upward Bound out.
Woke up this morning, feeling the vibe, got my headphones on, ready to thrive. Voices in my ear, lifting me high, upward bound podcast, reaching for the sky.